Hello, warriors, and welcome to Spilling Tea with Roxy. Today's episode is entitled Music as a Tool of Healing and Self-Expression. And I am joined today by fellow MS warrior, who is an incredible singer-songwriter, who likes to create music to heal and inspire others. She also has an amazing company called The Light I Choose, where she highlights people who choose light through dark experiences. Welcome all the way from New York City. Today we have Lina. Hi Lina, how are you?
Yay, hi. Doing great. This is
amazing. Awesome. Thank you for joining me today to spill some tea on MS. How have you been? How are you doing at the moment during this lovely thing we call a pandemic?
Is there even a word to describe what's really going on? Like, I don't know. Take things day by day. That's all I can say.
I totally agree with you. That same thing. It's really hard at the moment, and we're all just trying to find a bit of beauty in this crazy world that's happened. We call 2020. Yes. You're also an MS warrior.
Yes.
And a very cool one, might I say.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You are gorgeous for one, and I know everyone enjoys your posts and your interaction on social media. It was very much a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. You too. Look at your style. Like, I was like, ooh, these are the kind of people I want to follow, the MS warriors that look so good and make it look easy, like, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not.
No, not at all. You've got to like take the good days where you get them, right? So on a day where I can paint a face or like show a bit of love and light, I will do it. And I appreciate that you do that. It's beautiful to be around.
Because right before this, I did not look like this at all. I looked like how I felt this morning.
Don't. I took a picture I was in heels recently and someone went to me, how do you do that? I was like, oh no, I don't be silly. I put the heels on, take the photo, take them off again. Don't get that twisted. I can't do what you think I can do. This is just aesthetic.
But it feels good when you do it for a second.
Yeah, we've got to make ourselves feel good, especially when we feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do to make yourself feel good? Like, I do stuff like meditation, yoga, to keep myself a bit balanced, and to keep a little bit of light in my life. Is there anything that you use for yourself that you think helps get you through the darker days, I'd say?
Well, that's something I should do. A lot of doctors have been recommending that to me, to meditate, do some yoga, and chill out, you know. But as of lately, I kind of just keep myself around positive energy, people that I love, and watch my favorite show, chill, and I rest a lot because my body is telling me to rest. Like, I rest. I stay in bed. If I don't have to do anything, I won't do anything, and I'll recharge. So that's kind of what's been getting me through. And like, I write a lot, I journal a lot, I let out my feelings, I cry if I need to. That's what like gets me through. So I get through the dark times by actually experiencing those negative feelings and letting it pass, and then I find the light after.
No, I absolutely agree. Journaling, things like that, they're incredible tools for therapy. And I think more people should do it, myself included, because I start it and sometimes I kind of fall off that bandwagon of writing out my feelings, and I think it's very, very cute. Can you tell us all a little bit about yourself and your MS journey?
Okay, so my MS journey is kind of like a little weird because I did have symptoms when I was younger, but I'm only realizing that now that I'm aware of MS. I know that it's related to this story, but it was more serious around 2 years ago, where it was more frequently all these symptoms that I was having, and like cognitive fog or brain fog and muscle weakness, fatigue, and pins and needles in your body. I had all these weird symptoms and it didn't make sense, and I didn't know if they connected to each other. And so then finally I got diagnosed now in March, right before the pandemic. And so it's that's kind of just been my story now. Like, that was my story before, of trying to figure out the diagnosis and all of that. But the story now is really just navigating how to deal with the diagnosis and what do I do now that I have it. And I'm still on that journey, and it's going to be a long journey.
Definitely. It's different when they tell you. It's like one thing when you're trying to figure it out, because for years they thought I had lupus, they thought I had other things, and I
Right.
didn't, nothing really felt like it was right. And then when they do tell you, hi, this is MS, you kind of don't know how to feel, because they tell you have something and you're glad you know, but you're also kind of like, now you're telling me there's no cure. You don't know how to process that internally. It kind of makes you go, I'm happy sad. It's weird. It's like, I'm grateful I know, but I don't know what to do. And sometimes they can help you so much, I think, medically, but they can't help you necessarily deal with that emotional impact, and also how you actually take the steps just to deal with life after that. It's very, they can't really help you in that sense. So I don't know about you, but the community for me definitely helped me in that way to kind of navigate life with MS, you know?
Definitely. If it wasn't for the community that I found through social media, I don't know how I would have gone through it. We were experiencing a pandemic at the same time. So it was a lot to take in. And I think connecting with those people that I can relate to, that understand what I'm going through. I even found other people that got their diagnosis around the same time. So people who really knew what I was talking about. Like, and I think that's the importance of actually speaking up and sharing your story and being brave enough to be vulnerable, because that's a tough thing for a lot of people, to be vulnerable and share your personal things, because the fears of what comes with that. But there's so much good that can come from it, and you can inspire others while they inspire you, and inspire each other, and have people to be on the journey with you, because who wants to really do things alone?
No, you need, like, I call it my MS family. I need these people in my life. Just, you know, we have good days, we have bad days, and sometimes it's nice to speak to someone that really does understand what's happening. Not that people around us don't look and care, but sometimes there's certain things that, unless you're talking to another MS warrior, it's a weird connection. You kind of feel like this person really does know. They really understand how it feels to have that cognitive function, that double vision, or just the anxieties of life, just dealing with it. I mean, you are in New York, I'm in London. These are very busy cities. And trying to have MS in a city like that, to me, I mean, most cities in general, but a city like that is a lot to deal with, you know? It's a fast-paced thing. I've had to learn to slow down. It wasn't easy. I had to be like, brakes on, deep breath. You don't have to run around like they tell you have to do in the city. You can slow down a little bit.
That's true. And that brings up a good point, because New York City and like your city is so busy, but it's kind of a blessing that I got diagnosed. It's like I got diagnosed and then everything slowed down around me. So I also had that time to process it, because otherwise I would be, you know, the city that never sleeps. You just keep going and keep going, and I can't, how am I supposed to do that when I just got diagnosed? So right when I got diagnosed, like, I got that break. And I was also a student. I just graduated from college, because I went back to school to finish, and it was my last semester, and it was so hard to have that switch, that transition to online classes, and move out of my dorm and all of that. And but it was like the pandemic kind of helped me in a way, because it gave me some time to really just sit with my diagnosis, because people were figuring out the pandemic. So, you know, it kind of was a good thing. So I take things day by day, and I know that there's a purpose for everything, and there's things you can learn from your tough experiences. So that's how I really get through things, because it sucks, and it's okay to be in that feeling of grief when you get a diagnosis like that, and also learn what really is important. And just for the pandemic, the same for the pandemic, like, we had a lot of loss, a lot of experiences lost, people lost, and you get to really focus on what that really meant to you at the time, and really take advantage of the moment that we have now. And I really take advantage of my legs working now, and I can dance, so I dance. Or like, you know, I'm a dancer, I'm gonna move my feet, and I'm gonna do this because I can now. And who knows, with MS, like, if my legs will stop working one day, you know, I'm gonna be grateful for what it is right now.
Gratitude is absolutely everything with an autoimmune disease, because I think it's a to implement in our lives. I think at the start of my diagnosis, I wasn't as grateful a human being. And I had to learn that, you know, just be grateful for the sunset and sunrise, be grateful that you're breathing this morning, be grateful that you can feed yourself today. Like, it sounds silly because we were so, well, I was younger than I am now. It's probably your age. Like, it's probably the same age that we got diagnosed, and just a little bit older than you now. We're young, and you don't expect it. You kind of go, no, I want to go run around the world, but you kind of got to go,
right.
Be grateful that you're even here. Just be grateful that you have someone next to you. Be grateful for food in the fridge and the warmth and
things that we take for granted.
A humbling experience, a massive humbling experience. And like you, it sounds weird, but MS has brought me a lot of joy in my life, as well as a lot of heartache. I've met some incredible people. I've changed my life in ways that I never thought I would do. And I think it forces my hands in ways to show up for myself. And like you said, stop, take, you know, reset, look at yourself, look at life, have gratitude and be grateful for what you do have, and not always be thinking about the next thing that you need to do or achieve. Because really and truly, we are enough, and we need to remember that sometimes, that we just being us is enough in this world, you know.
And to really be thankful for our bodies for working, what does work. Because I know with MS especially, it's because something's not working, something's not right, and we kind of get stuck in that frustration of that. So now when I do have good days, I'm like extra grateful, and I'm very happy. I'm like, I don't have a headache today. Like, oh my goodness, like I don't feel the pins and needles. Like my legs aren't numb today. Like this is a great day, you know. Like being grateful for those good moments, because it's easy to get
videos of you dancing. We need those videos of you dancing when you have good days. We need them. I need them. The world needs to see them.
Right, just me being silly dancing.
I love it. I love that you just bring this beautiful energy to the situation, especially as someone that was only diagnosed like the other day. You're incredible, you know that. Like, I hope you know that you're incredible. And continue to spread that light, because it's beautiful. Are you in any treatment with your MS? Are you dealing with treatment? How was that to start that during a pandemic?
Oh my goodness. First of all, to even get diagnosed, like, because I got diagnosed while I was home in quarantine, like over the phone. That's how I got diagnosed. Yeah, I didn't even get diagnosed in person. I had my first appointment in person with the MS specialist, because my neurologist said, I think you should say MS specialist. This looks like MS. I'm like, I did not think it was really going to be MS. I saw the MS specialist in person, got the MRIs, and then the pandemic hit and everything. And then I found out on the phone that I got MS. And I'm like, what? So then they're like, yep, so we're going to start you on treatment, and we're going to do the pills, like oral medication. And so I was on Textedera at first, and they sent it. So I got the call from the Textedera company or whoever, and they explained what it is and the side effects and all that. And I'm just getting all these calls, and they're like, okay, and you have to sign this paper and sign this also. And everything was happening so fast. I'm like, whoa, slow down. And so they sent it to my house, and I started taking it, but I would like, my body was on fire. My face would be so red. My chest was like so red. I have pictures, and I've shared one at least on my page, and I'll continue to share them to really show like what it did to me, because I know that other people go through that too. And the doctors are like, oh, well, have some peanut butter with it. So I tried everything. I had it with peanut butter. I had it with a meal. I did it. I did all the weird stuff they told me to do, and it was still happening. And I was like, no, please change the medication for me. But it was tough, because what they would have done was put me on the infusion treatment, but they wanted me on, I really wanted Ocrevus. Like, they said I can have Ocrevus, but they didn't want to, or Ocrevus, I don't know how to say it. But they kept saying, like, the pandemic, we don't know, we don't want to lower your immune system with that, and we don't know, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, that's the best treatment, I want that one. But instead they gave, now I'm on Ty-Fabry, so it's infusion once a month, so I have to go. But my first one, I couldn't have any guests with me because of COVID, like the
Yeah.
guidelines. So I was there by myself, and that's like my first actual treatment, like, you know. So it hit me hard at that treatment, being in the room by myself. My phone didn't have service, so for the whole
Oh.
2 hours, I'm just in there literally by myself, nobody to talk to. And then I broke down in there, but now we good. Now I can have somebody with me.
Yeah.
And it's getting better.
Well, I'm glad. I've done both of those treatments. I've done Tysabri myself, but it didn't really. My body just rejected it. I started having like burns on my arms and stuff while getting the
No
infusions.
way.
That. And then I started Ocrevus just before the pandemic. Like literally took my second dose of the pandemic, and I'm 3 months behind a dose. But I don't know what it is with my body and treatments. I don't know. I have these weird side effects, so I'm even unsure if I can continue with that. But
Really?
no, I've got friends that are on it and they're having the best time of their life. They absolutely adore it. But for me, it's just a bit weird. I don't know what it is with my immune system. Like it's meant to knock out your immune system. Most people are between 0 and 20. And my immune system's 170 still, my B cells. So obviously I have this incredible immune system that's like fighting like a true warrior that it is. And it's not necessarily coming out in the right way for me. So I am going to take a break personally and reset and rethink about what the next steps are for me. But I'm glad that it works for you. I think they're incredible drugs. I love hearing about all of the magic they do, especially with Ocrevus. I can understand why you want that. There's a few people I know that have recently, but I don't know what it is with me. It just, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. I am
that's strange.
probably going back to, but I took 2 years out. Like I didn't take treatment for 2 years, and I was pretty good actually at that point. But I changed my food, I changed my diet, I changed my exercise, changed what's going in my brain. I would train my brain, taking positive energy, all that goodness. And for some reason that was working. When I took the treatment, it's like my body panicked. I don't know how to explain it. I panicked when too, because emotionally you can trigger your internal systems anyway with MS. So it's a bit more of a psychological thing with who I am as a human being, and the fact that I do like control quite a bit. I can't lie. So I think it's also giving away more control over my life, because I think sometimes I feel like MS took a lot away and gave me a lot, and I think I was in a place of gaining back a bit on my own feet, and then I think I gave it away, and I think I've had my own hospital trauma and everything, so I think that probably played out into how treatment works for me, or even the mindset I go into getting help or an infusion, because I think a lot of it is very much the mindset you're in as a human being. And for me, I don't know, it doesn't work. I've got friends that do no drugs at all and no treatment, and they have a certain kind of life and they are thriving. And then I have people that definitely should be taking treatment, and it's magical how different we all are, and our needs are so different, but we're all going through very similar things. And I wish I could write a paper on this or something, because it's so intriguing to me how we all are, how we deal with MS, and how we get through life with treatments or just health, or even just random diets like paleo diets, keto. People do the wildest things, and I'm sure you see them yourself on social media and on the websites. So I heard that you have this beautiful gift, or I keep seeing you sharing an amazing gift that you have, and we're going to call that gift music.
Yay!
So, how long have you been creating the beauty of music?
Well, thank you. I've been, let's see, I started probably around like middle school. I would write like poetry. It started off kind of with poetry. Then one day I wrote a rap, and my teacher was like, wow, you could rap. When I look back at that rap, it was very corny. It was not that good. But I'm so grateful for that teacher, because she really boosted me. And I was like, okay, I could rap. So I started writing rap, and I kind of became the little rapper Lina. But then I
Rapper
kind of
Lina.
I kind of just lost that for a while. And then when I went back to get my education in college and further my education there, I was part of this group where it was spoken word poetry and writing music. And that's where I rediscovered that. And then I was also going through some things. And it was a very healing thing for me to be part of that group. And we would perform on campus. And then that's when I really started to write again. And but this time I was like, maybe I should write a song. Maybe I should sing a little bit. So then people were like, oh, this is actually good. I'm like, really? Just like that teacher back when I was in middle school. And so that's kind of what brought that back into me. And I always had, that fire inside, but it kind of died out. So somebody had to light it back up. And I decided to start sharing that more. So I would share more on my personal page. And then once I got diagnosed with MS, I started writing more as a way of healing for this new diagnosis, because I write better when something wrong happens in my life. Like when I have like a failing relationship, I got so many songs for that. So many. But when I have a good relationship, I'm like, I have writer's block. I can't write, but it's because it usually comes from some kind of pain, something that fires this up in me where I can write. And yeah, I'm trying to try something new where I write more positive instead of always the terrible things that happen. To try to flip it and write positively about it, or what I've learned from that. And yeah, that's kind of where I am now. And now I continue to write songs and share them. And although they're not like recorded and put out on platforms like iTunes and Spotify at the moment, I share it on my Instagram for, just for a little bit of light for the day for someone else to hear and maybe inspire them to do themselves, or just inspire them through my words.
Yeah, I think you've definitely inspired a lot of people. I saw the comments. People were loving it. People felt like you were speaking almost for them, in a sense, like from the heart. But it felt like for them that it's from their heart, because they were feeling exactly what you were saying. And I think music is so powerful in so many different levels. Like I use music to heal myself. Obviously I'm no singer-songwriter. I don't sing or anything like that. I listen to it. I don't have your talent, but her music and meditation, things like that, they're such powerful things on certain frequencies that I think it's beautiful when people share their voice. And you have a gorgeous voice,
Thank you.
Voice. And you can see when you share things that you are very there, very present, that is coming from the heart, and you mean what you're saying. And that's incredible. That's nice to see, especially in this day and age with how music is. It's nice to see someone have, like, I want to say, purity to what they're saying, their voice and their opinion. So have you got any music coming up for us? Where can people find you actually to even hear this beautiful music? So if they if they don't know you and they're listening to the podcast for the first time, where do they go to find the light of Lina, really, and the beauty of the music, that healing voice of yours?
Thank you. Oh my gosh, it's like my teacher again. At the moment it's only on Instagram, so it's only short videos on the light of Lina on Instagram. And I think I have the one that we'll probably share within this podcast. It's on YouTube. So I'm starting to add them on YouTube as well as another platform, but it's just a video of me singing like in the moment. And soon I am working on like more songs where I want to do more of like a music video experience of it. And then eventually when I hit the studio and things are a little bit safer, it'll be on more platforms. So
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And when it drops, hit me up, because I will be sharing it with everyone. I'll be dropping it in inboxes, because I think everyone needs a little bit of that in their life. And I commend you, and I cannot wait to see this journey unfold, because I think it's going to be a great one.
Thank
I
you.
really
I'm excited.
no, same. So to the people listening, we're gonna let you listen to that exact video that Lina is talking to about right now.
I've been fighting for a long, long time. I've been trying to find the light. Oh, the nights, oh, the nights. I had to find a reason not to hide my feelings. Got to me, and I'm healing just slowly. I try to beat it, not too easy. Why me? I just need the light. I need the light. I just need the light.
So guys, that was just I Just Need the Light by Lina, and I hope you enjoyed it and her beautiful voice, because I know I did. Yeah, incredible, Lina. Incredible.
Thank you.
You are very, very welcome. Is there anything you want the guests to know about you? I mean, tell me a little bit more about the Light I Choose, that incredible company that you set up.
Yeah, so it's called The Light I Chose, but people say The Light I Choose. Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, I started that project about 2 years ago because I've always been interested in hearing people's stories and where they come from, like what's something that they've been through that they learned from, so I can learn through them, through that experience. So that way, I don't have to. I could experience it myself, but you can learn through other people's experiences, or I share my story so people don't have to go through what I went through to learn it. They can learn through me,
Yeah.
because there's so many hardships in life, and you can avoid those things if you only knew like how to, or you can learn how to get through those things. And then when you do go through those hardships, you know that you can get through it because someone else did, and be inspired by that. So I started that, and it's really about sharing dark experiences in your life that you chose light. So it's called The Light I Chose because you chose light, if that makes sense. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so I started that 2 years ago, and who would have known that, that would be the inspiration that I needed 2 years later when I got the diagnosis of MS. Like, that's why I think that's also another reason that it wasn't that hard for me to be open about it, because I had been sharing other people's stories for 2 years, and including my own, that I got comfortable, and I kind of felt like a hypocrite. I'm like, how could I keep this to myself when I'm over here telling everybody, share your story, someone needs to hear it. You have power in your voice, speak up about it. And then here I am experiencing this really tough thing and keeping it to myself. I was like, no, I have to share it. And I know I can, and I know I'm gonna be okay if I do, because I've seen all these people do it, and they're okay, and they've inspired me all the time. Some days I go to the Instagram page and I pick a random story and I reread it, and it'll help me for that moment, So yeah, that my own project inspired me later on. Crazy. But that's a little bit about my project, and it's usually like people that I come across in my life. Just everybody on the page I have met in person, or I've had a one-on-one connection with them. So I try to keep it like all people that I actually connected with in my life, to show other people how many people you can connect with in your life if you can see all that. So yeah.
Quite personal, which is lovely. That's quite personal that you are literally crossing paths with these humans and sharing that. Shows you how much you don't know about someone unless you really conversate with them, and that we all do that we go through. And if we do communicate a bit more, you don't really know what you're going through that is, like you said, going to help someone else and help improve their life. Let them just at the very least know that they're not alone, and that in itself is quite powerful. So for that are listening to this, where can they find you? Where can they connect with you? What are you on? How do they get to know Lina even more than they do now?
Okay, you can find me on Instagram, The Light of Lina, that's my page where I talk about my MS journey, the mental health stuff. That's where you'll find my music. And then The Light I Chose is where you can read other people's stories where they're sharing their dark experiences, where they chose light. And you can DM me through there. You can email me. There'll be some buttons you can click to connect with me. And on either page, if you want to learn more about The Light I Chose, if you want to share your own story, we can connect and, work that out. Or you can follow me on The Light of Lina, and we can connect on there too.
Oh,
DM me.
amazing.
Always open.
Thank you so much for joining me today, just to spill some tea and let everyone get to know you. And I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy your story and your beautiful gift. And I will definitely be continuing following you and seeing how your journey unfolds. And I'll be sharing more about you as time rolls on, because I think definitely people want to know more about Lina. So thank you so much. And thank you for being on Spilling Tea, Roxy.